Hey third grade, it's Mrs. Wade here to teach you your math lesson today. So today we're going to be talking about estimating fractions. So thinking about how much of something is filled or how much a fraction to tell you about how much. Now we're talking estimating, so we're talking about. We can't give the perfect answer. That's why estimating gives us a clear estimate of it. So let's take a look. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you your math book. If you want to go ahead and pull this up yourself, it is on page 390 and 391. So if you look here, we estimate fractions. You can estimate using fractions to tell about how much, about how full is each cup. And that's what your homework is going to kind of do today. So you can write about a fourth of the cup, about half, or about 3/4 to estimate parts of a whole. And some of you, if you've ever cooked with your mom or baked cookies or anything like that, you kind of see, if you have a measuring cup, maybe grab that, you can see where the quarter of a cup, half a cup, 3/4 a cup, a full cup are. It makes you think in that way. So for example, here we're going to take a look at number 1. It's yes or no questions, not too difficult. About what part is light blue? Estimate. Their estimate is about 3/4. I would say yes, it is. About 3/4 is light blue. So the answer to this one would be yes. Number 2, about how much pizza is left? They said half. Well, nope, if it was half there, let me get my notation skills, this here. If it was half, it would have just been cut right down the middle, but this would be more like 3/4. So here, I would say N-O. Over here is yes. You don't need to do these. These are just to give you examples. Okay. About what part of the hour has passed? Well, let's look. It says it's 12:30, and they say about half. I would say yes, because it's 30 minutes into the hour. So you see how I'm going around here, and I'm kind of giving the estimate. About how much of the pie is left? About a fourth. I would say that's correct, because if I were to cut this pie into 4, that would be about a fourth. So I'd say yes. You're going to have a few questions like that on your work today. So let me stop the share. I'm going to show you a few more things just so we can work on this together. Okay, so here we have some of our Smartboard lessons. So we're estimating fractional parts. So if you think of them, these are the most common things. If you take out a measuring cup, we often use these all the time in cooking and different things. So when we estimate fractional parts, we need to think about the common fractions. So 1/4, or sometimes we call that a quarter. So you hear that like a quarter in a football game. There's 4 quarters, 1/4, and such. A third, half, 2/3, 3/4. Those are the most common ones. So if you look at this, if we have this bar here, that's going to show us that. So if we go here, about how much of this rectangle is shaded? Since we're in about, we want to say, what is it closest to? Well, we would say it is closest to the 1/3 here. Okay, so that's an example of how you could use that. Oh, it worked. Cool. Okay, here's another one. About how much is shaded here, we'd say 3/4. Okay, just a few examples to kind of show us how we could go about this. Here we would say about a half is shaded in the red. Okay, so just to give you some examples, you kind of think that. So now if you think of shapes, how much is shaded of the shape? So let's look here. Sometimes it helps me to draw things out. So here, if I were to take this, for me, it looks like most logically, if I were to do in 4s, that doesn't work. But if I do it in 1/3, each of those pieces are about the same. So here, I would say about 1/3 is shaded. Okay. Here, I could say a similar thing, because if I go like this, it's like 3 pieces. So I'd say 1/3 is shaded. Over here, they cut right down the middle, so that tells me a clear half is shaded. Okay, so those are just some examples to show you what you could do. Okay, let's go on. So here, I would probably say, let's see, here, well, if you look here, I can go like this again. So I'd say 1/3 again. Sometimes it helps me to draw it out. And then here, okay, this was pretty simple. It goes right down the middle. So this I would say is 1, 2, 3/4 is shaded. And then here, I can cut it a little bit. Now it's an estimate, so it's not gonna be perfect. It's not quite straight either for my thing. That would be about 1/3. fourths. So we're just estimating. So if you think about it, your homework's gonna have things like how much is full, how much is written on, how much is white, those different things, okay? So we're gonna take a look at those. Okay, let me clear my drawings and go to the next page. Okay, so here we'd say how much of this shape is shaded. So let's look. Here, I would say if I were to cut this up more, I'd say I could cut it up into the 4 about there. That's a little off, but it's close enough. So I would say this is 1/4 shape. Okay, if I come over here, let's try it again. I could cut it here, here. I would say this is 1, 2, 3/4 shaded because there's 4 total and 3 are shaded. Here it gives me a nice 1 and 1, so I would say it's half shaded. Okay, so those are just some ways to kind of show you how you could use this. Okay, so let's stop this. Okay, I'm going to show you your homework today is going to be on workbook page 146. You're not going to do all of the problems, you're only going to do 1 through 7. But first, what I want you to do is actually play a game I found for you to kind of practice some of these since you're going to have less amount of homework today. So if you go ahead and it's called Shape Splat. Let me share my computer sound on this. And if you look, you're going to go to that. Sometimes it pops up like this, guys. All you got to do is click and press allow. Excuse me. And sometimes it just needs a minute to do that. So now I'm going to start this game. And it's going to use, you're going to use things to figure out how estimating the amounts. So you're going to click on the shapes that are about 1/4 filled, okay? Well, this one could be, yeah, I'd say. So, that one's half. That one's half. That's a little more than half. And that could be 1/4, but here, this one's 1/4. And, oh, I got them all. So you're just going to go through and just keep going. It's going to have 1/3 filled. So I want you to spend about 5 to 10 minutes playing that game just to give you some practice on estimating. And then what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to start your homework there. Okay, so what you will see is if you want to pull out your workbook 146, you can start there. And what you're going to do, I've also put the questions in, so all you have to do is press them. You don't have to actually type anything in. So here, for example, number 1 is about what part is full. Here they said 3/4. So it's asking you, is it full about 3/4? You just have to answer yes or no. On these, it gives you multiple choice for each of the questions. It's only 7 problems. Turn that in and then you are good to go for today. Okay, 3rd grade, let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye.